have better options. Let's scoot a little bit this way. Yeah. Okay, so from here, we've looked a lot on getting to this inside heel hook here, but we also looked at an escape where if he gets this out, he can start to turn out this way and look to get out, okay? As long as I have this leg, he can't turn out. He needs this leg free in order to start his best escape. So what I can do as a sadistic training partner here is I can put on some very painful submissions where both legs are stuck. And this really sucks, okay? I could look for different kind of ankle locks. We looked at that one class. Sometimes people do to defend the ankle lock is they'll straighten their legs, yeah, and keep them real tight here. Now it's difficult for me to ankle lock, but I can look to weave my arm under here for a leg lace. So guys, when you pull in, make sure this is tight to your body. You have a good ankle lock grip. When it's time to leg lace, look, I keep my elbow where it is and I pummel this hand under his bottom leg here. From here, I want to lock wrist to wrist, so go in here. I can put my feet together. This one hurts the genitals more. This one is a little bit nicer on the crotch here. And what I'm looking to do is I'm basically looking, so if you see this bottom leg here, I'm basically looking to knee bar it this way. But I'm knee barring it while this leg is inside. So his shin is going to go against his calf. It's going to hurt a lot. Unless he did Muay Thai for many years, then maybe not. Or maybe even more actually. And I'm basically thinking about that I want to bring everything close to my face here. I want to pull his heel this way as my lower body twists the opposite way. So we go like this, okay? And I can really put some torque into this. So I'm doing this, my lower body goes this way as my upper body pulls his leg the opposite way. So there's a lot of tension here. And if I want even more power, I can fall to a hip, and I have a lot of power here to make it real nasty, okay? So make sure when you're here, bring everything in. I have the ankle lock grip, just let the wrist go out and go underneath the heel. Bring everything in tight to your head. Lock wrist to wrist, and now you pull the leg this way as your legs push the opposite way. It should be real painful, and at some point the knee gets hyperextended here. And from this we'll have a great follow-up when he escapes, where we go to the heel hook. We'll look at that after. Oh. We get in here, right? Like if his legs are far apart here, then it's harder to get the leg lace going, but the ankle lock here hurts more. To take some heat off the ankle lock, it's really nice to straighten this leg and keep it behind the elbow, because now I can't crunch it in, but the leg lace is good from here. So they work nicely together. Okay, when we go here, if you don't want to break your partner's nuts, then you can put the foot on the hip. Okay, this helps, and I think about twisting here. Now, one thing Stefan can do is he can kind of lift his hip. Yeah, so take some pressure off, and maybe he can start to slide this foot up here. From here, the foot is out, but because his knee's turned in, his heel is exposed. So I can switch and lock up a heel hook here. Yeah. Yeah, let's just step back. So, real quick tip on heel exposure here. For me to get a good grip on the heel here, right, I need his heel to point up. The way his heel points up from here is if his knee is turning in here towards me. If his knee is turning the other way, it's hard to get the heel. Now, when I put this kind of heat on him here, you see his knee's already starting to turn that way. And when he lifts his hip here to take pressure off, the knee is turned a lot further that way. So I'm gonna let him slide the leg out, and I'm gonna convert. So now, before I was under, now I go over and I pinch the toes in. From here, you can lock a triangle to keep him in tight. All right. From here, he's either gonna roll further this way, or for now, let's just say he falls back. Here, to hide the heel, I keep everything tight. Heels to the butt. I take my chin to his heel. Think about heel rotating this way as my hips push his knee the opposite way. Everything has to curl in tight. Okay, so he actually gives me heel exposure when he tries to take the heat off the leg lace. That's just, yeah, we've got to figure out the angle on this one. So, yeah. So here, go here. I put some heat on. Stefan lifts his hip, this takes a lot of pressure off. I let his foot slide out. Now I was under the leg here, so I need to swim this hand over. I gotta make sure that my knee is still in between his legs here, so I point my hips to the mat. If he turns this way, we go to a backside situation. Let's rotate. Yeah. Got Stefan doing agility today. So here, step all the way over. So here, we're in a backside situation. I'm pointing my knees to the mat. I make sure this is inside here. Cup the heel. If we get to a backside situation, think about opening your chest and pulling the heel to the corner slowly. It's very strong from here. If he just falls back on his hip, we just gotta make sure that we keep everything tight here. Land on our elbow, heels pulled to the butt. I make sure I take my chin to his heel, and as I lift the heel one way, my hips push his knee the opposite way. Here. Okay, go real slow with this one. So you set up the ankle lace, he lifts his hip, we switch. So before we were under this leg here, we just slide over, make sure to pinch the toes back and lock up. Okay, either he keeps rotating, we finish backside. If you haven't been here for any heel classes, don't spend time on the backside finish. Just focusing on having your partner fall back here, right? So basically when this slips out here, you go back, you catch the heel, follow him, finish here, okay? That's the last technique for today before sparring. Let's try it on free. 1, 2, 3.